Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm tackling this container in my front yard. So this was looking gorgeous a few months ago, and then we got hit with a storm and it was kind of never the same since. This is in my front yard. This is a combination of Albrighto coleus, and there was some Savola at the bottom of it, kind of all the way around, and then some coffee cups colocasia. And nothing lasts forever, especially in containers, and it's time to switch them out and make them ready for the fall. And I've got a great selection of plants that I'm going to do that with, and I'm just going to clean this up. I need to revive the soil. I don't put in all fresh soil. I'll top it off with some fresh stuff, but I'm excited to get rid of all of this and make it look so much better and make it fall ready. But before we get to planting, let me show you the ingredients. My container is going to include this. This is my thriller. So if you're familiar with the thriller, filler, spiller approach, I am going with this as my thriller. This is the tall plant, the eye catcher. So this is an intense purple celosia. These are all annuals, by the way, although one of them could be perennial. This is tricolor sage, picking up on that deep purple from the celosia. And then I've got some pepper, some ornamental pepper. This is Acapulco multicolor orange. And then this is some Nagoya red cabbage. I've got several of those. And then a cool season annual, the pansy. This is Mammoth Sangria Punch, huge flowers on it. So I'm gonna clear this container and then figure out how I want to arrange all these in my container garden. And I also have some ivy, some variegated ivy. It's all about packing it in. Doing a container garden is different compared to if you're planting in the ground. Container gardens, you kind of jam things in way closer than they should be if you were to plant them in the landscape, because they only have so much time. Their time to grow is finite, so they're not going to be able to grow all season, and you want impact as quickly as possible. So by jamming them together and kind of loosening up the roots too if they're root bound, and keeping them watered, fertilized, will help them fill in faster. This is a planting situation where more is better. And then I also have a grass, because as I was filling my cart, my friend who works at the garden center said, you need a grass. So she sent me over to pick up some Discampsia pink pixie fountain hair grass. Isn't that great? So she said I need a grass element, and this falls beautifully over the side of the container. I may or may not use this, but I believe is this a perennial? Yeah, it's hardy in zones 2 to 7. So this will still go into, I haven't even looked up this, if this is a warm or a cool season grass. I should probably look into that. If it's warm season, planting this in its hardy zones 2 to 7, planting this in the garden right now, it's September, it may not make it through the winter. I've not had good luck. I've transplanted things a little too late. The warm season grass is a little too late, and have had very mediocre results because it just doesn't have enough time to set roots before the ground gets cold again. So I'll have to look into that, but this is going to be my spiller elements. So first I'm going to get to clearing this out, clear the canvas, and start fresh. Now that I've got this cleared, I'm actually liking the coffee cups colocasia. Cleaned it up a little bit, and I think I might move it a little bit to the back of the planter and use that as my filler, or my thriller, and see what happens. But I'm just gonna rearrange things. It's like rearranging furniture to see what kind of configuration I like, but I do really like this. It still looks like it's got some legs left in it, so I'm probably gonna keep it. I'm just going to take a little off the top so that I've got at least a 2-inch lip, so that when I go to water it, it's not going to be overflowing. And now the fun part. I really like this colocasia, so I think I'm going to leave it as my thriller. My celosia is really root bound, so I like to give it an X cross in the bottom, so it really encourages those roots to fan out. I do that with my perennials too. Actually, anything that I'm planting, I loosen those roots up so that it expands, those roots expand out into the soil a little faster. And density is the name of the game here. You don't have to worry about spacing because these plants are only going to be in here for a little while, and you want maximum impact as quickly as possible. My final step is some water-soluble fertilizer. I'll put Osmocote down. That is a slow-release fertilizer. I do put Osmocote in my summer containers just because it has a longer season. But for this, I'm going to use, and I'm not paid to tell you this, a product. This is a water-soluble product from Proven Winners. I've had the best experience with this particular product. Things just flower more. They produce more buds. They're healthier, faster, and I want a fast turnaround on this because this has such a short season. So maybe I'll get 6 weeks out of this. So I'm going to apply some water-soluble fertilizer and clean it up a little bit and wish it well. For this fertilizer, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So I've got a 1.5 gallon watering can. So I'm going to do a 1.5 tablespoons of fertilizer. And there you have it, the finished container and a bit of an outfit change. I decided not to film the final product until the sun was off it, which was the next day. So it just got too hot and the colors bleached out of it. So which brings me to the point when you're photographing your garden or your planters, whatever you have, do it when it's not high sun. So I like to get all my photography done by like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'll get up early. And also at sunset, the golden hour is beautiful too in the garden. So for that reason, I waited till the next day to show you the final product. So the name of the game is just more plants than you would actually do as far as spacing goes in a perennial, in a garden bed, and just jamming them in there. And I love all the textures. I did end up using the grass, and Ashley from Sunrise, thank you for suggesting that because that is exactly what my planter needed. And the cabbage and the peppers, it's going to fill in beautifully. This does dry out fast, so it's like I'd say it's about an 18-inch diameter container. It gets lots of sun, so it's going to need more water, and then fertilizer once a week. And because this container, I mean, our average first frost date for this area is October 15th, so I've got about 6 weeks to get this thing rocking and rolling and looking lush and full. So fertilizer is what's going to do it for me. So this should all fill in nice, the sage and the peppers, all of that. And I'm really glad I kept the Coffee Cups Colocasia because I love that dramatic, tall, dark element. And the celosia, no, there's already bees on the celosia. So that's my container, guys. So pack those plants in. Don't be afraid to ruffle up those roots a little bit. And you may even have to kind of squeeze things in there. It's all going to be fine. So make sure you leave a lip so that when you're watering, you don't want to have soil all the way up to the very top, because when you water with any container, it will overflow then and it won't actually saturate the soil. So just leave a lip there so you've got at least 1 inch, maybe 2 inches between the top of the soil and the top of your container, and you're ready to go. And that is my fall container. So if you like the video, please throw up a like. I would appreciate it. And consider subscribing. Would love to have you along. And most importantly, thank you for your time and thanks for watching. Happy gardening.